welcome back. You're tuned into Midcap Radar on CNBC TV 18. Well, as promised, let's get in Kavinder Singh, who's the MD and CEO of Mahindra Holidays and Resorts. He's joining us to discuss the COVID hit on their business as well as the outlook now that India is unlocking in phases. Mr. Singh, good afternoon. Thanks a lot for joining us on CNBC TV 18. Well, let me ask you, start by asking you, as India is unlocking, there is a lot of pent-up demand for people to go out and take a vacation or a staycation at resorts. If we talk about resorts near Mumbai, all of them are actually full till October. What is your sense of how the demand is and what is the outlook for the remainder of the year?
Okay, so I think you have hit really the rightly the nail on the head when you are saying that there is a huge demand. I think we are experiencing a very huge demand looking forward. As you know, we are different from a traditional hospitality player. We have members. We have 258,000 members. And the moment we have opened our resorts in Maharashtra, Gujarat, Rajasthan, Uttarakhand, Himachal, we are seeing very huge requirement from our members to travel. We are seeing bookings which we have not seen before going forward. And we are also seeing occupancies as we see right now. In the states where we have lesser restrictions like Rajasthan, we are seeing bookings or occupancies in upwards of about 90%. Even in Maharashtra, we are seeing 85-90% occupancies. So definitely travel is back. And this is because I think for a long time, people have been, locked up in their indoors. And more importantly, I would say that the safety and hygiene assurance is what is giving us an edge in welcoming our members back. We have a campaign going on called Travel with Confidence, where our members can actually get their car sanitized at their home. They can take a COVID test done if they require, and they could also self-drive or get their car into our resorts. And our resorts have obviously been Bureau Veritas certified as COVID safe. So these things are helping us in the Travel with Confidence campaign that we are running right now.
Okay, so 90% occupancy is what you've seen so far. So in that case, is it safe to say that quarter 2 will be better than quarter 1? In fact, quarter 1 as well for you was quite strong, a profit growth of 46%. What will quarter 2 look like? And if you can give a guidance at all for the rest of the year?
So in our business, as you know, that even though we had almost no resort open in April, May and June, we were able to deliver 47% growth in profit after tax. And in the quarter 2, we are seeing two positives. One, the occupancy positive, which I talked about. And by the way, this 90% is only for few resorts where we do see much lesser restrictions. And at this point of time, only 30 of our 70 resorts are operational. And we are opening one by one as the travel restrictions ease off. Even in under Unlock 4.0 guidelines, there are requirements for COVID testing. And the COVID testing has to be done 96 hours prior to arrival in a couple of states. So definitely the occupancies will pick up as we move into the quarter 3, which is October, November, December. And coming back to our member additions, we are seeing reasonably good uptick in our member additions. We have also launched a very interesting 3-year product, which is priced very, very attractively. That has also helped us get member additions. So if I look at Q2, I think Q2 is going to be a good quarter for us. That is also because of the fact that we have a very, very uniquely differentiated business model. And a lot of our incomes are annuity streams, which are regularly coming in.
Kavinder, if you can give us some numbers. You said you have 2.58 lakh members. How many rooms does Mahindra Holidays have? How many of them are open? I mean, for use?
So at this point of time, we have 3,700 odd rooms. And the 30 resorts that we have opened would comprise approximately about 1,500 odd rooms that are open right now.
And you said you have 3,000 odd rooms. So about 50%.
3,700.
3,700.
No, little less than 50%.
And 1,500 are welcoming guests right now.
That's right. That's right.
Okay. And these 1,500 that are welcoming guests, these are booked out till, I mean, as Sonal began by saying, you have visibility?
So we do have very good visibility up to October, November. In fact, in some cases, even up to December. So I would say that we are seeing a very big uptick in the bookings. But you have probably noticed that if you look at even the other hospitality players, Sometime when we look back in July, our bookings were looking good in July also, but we did see the occupancies did not play out because people do cancel nearer the time. But I am seeing in September the trend is reversing. The number of cancellations are coming down. So people, once they book, they are indeed coming. So I think the occupancies are only going to go one way, which is up.
And
as we look forward.
And out of these 30 resorts, 1,500 rooms, how many have this rule of you need to have a valid negative COVID test result, say whatever 96 hours or 48 hours? I mean, how many of these are under those restrictions?
Yeah. So if you take Kerala, if you take Himachal, if you take Uttarakhand and Goa, at this point of time in these states, if you have to travel, in fact, Kerala is not even open for tourism as we speak. It's not sort of desirable or not sort of, it's not yet open for tourism. They have defined short visit as 7 days, but tourism is not covered under short visit. So if you look at Himachal, you still need to have a COVID test for about 96 hours before you can enter in. Goa also, you need to have a COVID test done. If you haven't done the COVID test, then you have to, when you land at Goa, you need to get the COVID test done. Until the time the results are out, you are quarantining in the hotel that you are booked in. Coming back to your question, I would say at this point of time, only Gujarat, Karnataka, Maharashtra. These are the 3 states where we do not have these kind of restrictions. So which is good for us. And I believe these restrictions will be brought down as we move forward. And in these states, Gujarat, Rajasthan, Maharashtra, that is where we are seeing occupancies upwards of 85-90% because the restrictions aren't there. Where the restrictions are, the occupancies are not so good. Okay. And they will take time to come up.
Okay. Mr. Singh, my 2-part question before we wrap up. First is that you generate around 11% of your income from the interest on membership fees that you've received already. With lower interest rates, do you think that amount will get dented? What kind of declines do you see there? And secondly, you have a 750 crore cash in your books. Any plans to give it back to the shareholders in terms of dividend or any buyback that you're planning?
Okay, so as far as the interest income is concerned, it is not dependent on the interest rates. We have interest income, 2 kinds of interest income. Of course, we have 750 crores cash that generates some kind of interest income. But we also have a financing income because when people enroll us to become members of Club Mahindra, there is a built-in interest into the EMI structure that we have. One of the reasons our interest incomes are coming down is not because of the lower income interest rates, but because of the fact that we are preferring people to pay upfront. So we are encouraging people to do higher down payment, lower EMI tenure. And that is the only reason our interest income will come down in the future, but not because of the interest rates, because we have an interest rate built in. Coming back to your question on dividend and buybacks, we have a very unique situation. We have had an amazing dividend paying track record. We did not pay dividend this year, partly because of the new accounting standard. There is a transition entry that has happened in our balance sheet, as a result of which we are not in a position to give dividend as per the accounting norms that are there today. And if you can't give dividend, you cannot also announce buybacks. So we have been requesting Ministry of Corporate Affairs, and we have made a representation to look at it because we have free cash flows of 200 crores a year. We have 750 crores of cash. And by the way, to answer your next question, we also have plans using this 750 crores to acquire assets, and these assets will help us fuel our member expansion as we go ahead. And by the way, I am on record that we are looking to increase our room inventory from 3,700 to 5,000 with an investment of about 1,000 to 1,200 crores in about 3 to 4 years.
Kavinder, briefly, a couple of points. One, if you can tell us how much people spend at the resorts, right? I mean, F&B, etc. That's about what, 20% of, I'm told, your annual revenues. The 30%. Sorry.
Yeah, you go ahead.
Yeah. So, is there opportunity? I mean, when for resorts which are open, I mean, is it sort of full service, or is the opportunity available for people who come up to these resorts to spend as they did earlier? Generally, are they spending at the same level? What are you seeing there? And second, if you can just tell us what is the cost of a membership now, if and how does it compare? I mean, are there any discounts that you're offering?
Okay, so as far as the spending behavior at the resorts is concerned, it has surprised me positively, because we thought that people would probably want to stay in the room and order the room service. By the way, we are full service resorts and we are operational fully. Our kitchens are certified, FSSAI certified. We have the Bureau Veritas certification. So there is no concern on hygiene and food safety as we are seeing. And members are spending. In fact, they are spending more than what they were spending earlier because they are indoors, and indoors meaning within the resorts. They are not going out, and which is, in my opinion, the right thing to do given the current situation. So since they spend more time at the resort, we are seeing higher F&B spends per available room or per occupied room. That's a metric that we track internally. So I think, as I see it, this is a trend that has caught me by surprise positively. And if you may want, if you can repeat the second question, because there was a bit of a disturbance.
No, I just how much does the membership cost, and are you offering discounts? Because I mean,
yeah,
hotels.
Right. Yeah. So on the membership cost, I think the membership is priced very, very attractively because we have multiple products. We have a 25-year product, which typically would cost you about 6 to 7 lakhs, depending on the season that you buy for a studio apartment, and it could go up to even 10 lakhs. And we do offer discounts. And by the way, we also have a 10-year product for people above 50 because that's a product called Bliss. It's a points-based product. And we have a 3-year product also for people who would want to just sample Club Mahindra. The most important part of the deals and discounts is that there is a deal-seeking behavior, and we have given discounts, but not out of line with the way we normally run the business. So broadly speaking, discounts is not something that is going to dent our P&L in the coming quarters.
Okay, Mr. Kavinder, thanks a lot for joining us and giving us all those details. Quite a lot of positive commentary coming in there. That demand is coming back, and they have 90% occupancy in some of their hotels. But it's time to take a quick break. But before we head into a break, here's something that you, our viewers, must take note of. CNBC TV 18 and National Stock